Welcome in Tuesday edition Oxford Exxon Podcast, brought to you by Twisted Tea. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio here today. Lane Kiffin with his weekly press conference yesterday. We'll go through some of those things, including him declining to name a starting quarterback. Some other answers that were pretty interesting. You can see more of that with what he said, what he meant up at rebelgrove.com. Quick hits, full transcript, all that stuff there on the website. We're a few days away from Ole Miss and Mercer, 1 o'clock on a Saturday. Just a couple days away from SEC football, however, not counting Vanderbilt, which has already happened. Florida and Utah, Missouri, South Dakota. That's not the Jackrabbits; they're the other ones, whatever they are. South Dakota State is the Jackrabbits, but I'm unaware of South Dakota's mascot.
All I know about South Dakota is their governor has a really creative ad out right now about moving to South Dakota. They have electricians needed, for example.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. So all that more today on the show.
Feel safe in saying she's probably the most attractive governor in the country.
You think so?
Yeah, I would say Kristi Noem probably wins that award.
Oh. I don't know. I've ever seen a list or.
I mean, I'm just guessing.
I mean, it's politicians to me.
Just
yeah,
taking a stab.
Yeah. Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West in Oxford. Lunch specials, ribs. You know the drill by now. You can get those $5.69. They change every single day. 2 sides, bread, any size fountain drink. Also, the ribs, let them take care of dinner tonight. Hot case, dessert, side items. A lot of options for you there locally. And remember, they got the beer cave open, 34 degrees, cold, refreshments. Pick them up for tailgating or just hanging around the house watching football this weekend there at Blue Sky. And again, come to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours, right to the bottom line. There's no hassle. There's no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is completely up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. Corey and the people at Clark Ford, they want to be your car guy. They want to be your truck guy. You'll find out what that means when you make the call. You get incredible service long after the sale. So, again, 662-257-1900. Guest is joined on the Campbell Clinic hotline. The Campbell Clinic is in Oxford now, 2608 South Lamar Boulevard, Suite 102. Just across the street from the cottages at Hooper Hollow, the Campbell Clinic provides full-service orthopedic care, everything from sports medicine to foot and ankle surgery to spine and total joint care to pediatric orthopedics and physical therapy. To book an appointment, go to campbellclinicoxford.com or call 901-759-3111. Walk-ins always available. And welcome at the Campbell Clinic, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
So again, Lane Kiffin speaking yesterday. Clearly, the quarterback answer was the one that was the most compelling. Overall, what do you think Lane's mood was yesterday?
Oh, I don't know.
He wasn't mad at us yesterday at all. He was actually normal and good. No,
I mean, he doesn't like. It's not that he doesn't like us.
But he wasn't even low energy yesterday.
Right, no.
He was completely normal yesterday.
He's better than us, and he knows it. So I think I think when he has to hang out with us, he's slumming a bit. So he doesn't exactly enjoy it. But he was fine. But he was fine. And I get it. I mean, he makes a lot of money, and he has a big position, and not all of us do.
No, and I mean, you and I disagree a little bit with this. It's just part of the job, though. It's 10 minutes.
Sure,
just show up.
Sure, I mean,
it's just like it's.
I'm just to the point
one of those deals where
it doesn't matter to me. So whatever, I get a kick out of it. Like other people are annoyed by it. I'm amused.
I just yesterday was fine. I thought he was good, giving him complete credit. The days where he just whispers, though, it's like, my God, just 10 minutes and going about your day.
Yeah,
like what's the?
I get it. It doesn't. It just doesn't faze me. It drives other people insane, which maybe is the point, but. I don't
even think it's the point. I think it's simply just the mood for the moment.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's calculated necessarily. I think that's I think that's way too much energy on us than that would be.
But he was fine. I mean,
yeah, he was good yesterday.
I wrote in what he said, what he meant a few times. He seems to like this team. Now he always throws out the same caveat, and he should.
It's the correct caveat.
It's absolutely the one that I think he's trying to, and I'm not sure the fans pick up on it. I think people like me who are listening to him and then reading the words and trying to figure out meaning, I think we get it. And that is, look, so far so good, but they're undefeated. What happens? I mean, what happens September the 23rd if they lose in Tuscaloosa. When you come back on September the 24th with LSU 6 days away, how do you respond? What happens if you lose that day? With Arkansas 6 days later, when you wake up on October the 1st to get ready for Arkansas, what if you've lost twice? How do they respond? He points that out. He doesn't use those exact terms, but he simply says, it's pretty easy when you're rolling right along and nobody's lost playing time yet. Nobody's been demoted. Nobody's actually gone through the process of showing up for game day and only getting 12 snaps, stuff like that. It's a little more difficult when stuff starts to happen, and stuff will happen.
It's the scary thing for him, or frankly any coach in this climate, is we sort of take that next step off that comment, is that he has zero sample size at all to base that off of. He likes their attitudes. They showed up better than last year. They've become one team, if you will, in quotes, better than last year. But as far as when those bullets start flying, he has no idea how John Saunders and this dude and this dude and this dude and they all meld together and what they do and what that locker room looks like. Because you didn't even necessarily recruit them for years. You know what I mean? Like you're also kind of guessing on just simply personality types beyond the obvious in a lot of ways. Because these portal transitions are so fast. And you're talking to people and you'll talk to the coach and talk to this, whatever, but you don't even necessarily have the same read on them as a human as you would a high school kid that you've maybe spent 18 months with over the course of their junior and senior years and tried to do that. So, yeah. I mean, it's a huge guessing game.
Yeah. And look, last year, for all the talk about it, everything was fine for 7 games. There was stuff going on in the locker room. I mean, I knew about it. I did 3 player shows. I talked to 3 players. You talked to parents of other players. You knew stuff was going on because stuff goes on in every locker room pretty much. But the stuff that was going on was not affecting them until it did. And then once it did, they had a really difficult time sort of getting back to making the main thing the main thing.
I don't know the answer to this. Do you think in some ways, and again, at the end of the day, the kids are going to do what the kids are going to do. They're either going to meld, and when that happens, they're going to be good or they're not. But is there a way, do you think in Lane's mind that he potentially has prepared or coached them differently to be better acclimated for that? I mean, do you learn things as a staff to potentially assist or elevate the ability for that to be the case? I know I'm asking you to speculate.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. We don't get enough interaction with.
Yeah, there's not enough meat for that, really.
Yeah, I mean,
so you wonder, hey, if done this, because I mean, look, I wrote about it. They talk about it all the time. I mean, I do think liking the other person matters. I mean, I think that does make you care about it, again, in quotes, to, hey,
sure,
do your job or whatever. But, if you have some major issues, hey, going bowling one time is not curing that.
No, they've encouraged them to get together off the field, to go get meals together. We've heard about stuff like that. I mean, I can't speak to whether that's happened or whether that's been impactful. I mean, it's one of those things we'll find out over time.
They seem to do inside the rooms, maybe not team-wide, but,
right,
defensive backs and
right,
go to Chipotle and do this and
right,
do that and whatever you want to make that mean.
I mean, we'll find out. I mean, the odds of Ole Miss going undefeated against Alabama and LSU are probably not super.
No, of course.
So they'll if they lose one of those games or both of those games, we'll find out a whole lot about them pretty quick. Unlike a year ago where they just, they had the Kentucky game that was huge and they got through it. And then after that, I mean, the next big game was Auburn, and I don't think anybody really thought Auburn was going to beat Ole Miss in Oxford. And, I remember they got to Baton Rouge and people from the outside had been watching them, and Matt Moscona said it. Matt was pretty vocal about it. He said LSU's going to beat Ole Miss handedly, and took a lot of criticism, but he had watched Ole Miss, and I think he saw some cracks that maybe you don't see when you're watching it up close.
Right.
So we'll see. That's the interesting. I think it's the good thing about this season. If this is going to be a really good team, we're going to know it fast.
I mean, within those dates are.
Within the month of September, we'll know. They play Alabama and LSU in the month of September. If this is going to be a really good team, a special team, an elite team, we will know it within the first month. Because they go to Tuscaloosa. They play LSU at home. I mean, we'll know at that point whether that's the good part. Last year, there was always that nagging thing about, they're 7-0, but we don't really know how good they are. We'll know this year. If they're 7-0 this year, they're a contender.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Athens suddenly circle.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the difference, I think.
He did crack me up yesterday, applauding Mercer and how much they're going to get ready for the Bears on Saturday. He went as coach speak as he potentially ever could.
That was his most coach speak answer since taking over the Ole Miss job. It's like, we're gonna have our hands full. No, you're not. No, you're not. That's silly.
We need to prepare well. Okay, because cool. I can do that for myself.
Right.
But hey, I'm really worried about that linebacker.
If you wanted to know why the game's at 1:00, he answered that yesterday. They're getting ready for the heat.
Yeah.
Although there's a decent chance that New Orleans is going to be rainy next weekend.
But say there's the really early forecast call for some storms.
Yeah.
Some potential issues.
A storm brewing in the
Gulf.
Tropics, I guess, that could get into the Gulf and cause issues.
Yeah. The couple people I know that really follow that far out in advance saying that there's the potential for that being a bit of havoc when the time comes. Again, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We're not into that yet, but nonetheless, just something to kind of keep in mind. But quarterback thing. So it was the first question, as to be expected, in the press conference.
Well, the reason that it was the first question, just to not to interrupt you, but to give a little bit of background, is that normally, certainly in the Kiffin era, in the Kiffin era, on Monday of the first game week, we get a depth chart.
Always, since I've started covering them.
I can't remember not getting one.
Yeah.
And so I picked up the notes package and started looking through it. And
you're planning to type it out?
Michael Katz was there a couple minutes before me, and he said, if you're looking for what I think you're looking for, it's not there. And I was like, really? And he goes, yeah, it's not there. I was like, oh, okay. And so I just made a post. Other people were, I won't name names, but other people were far more vocally upset, borderline distraught about the lack of a depth chart yesterday. You probably could take guesses. But yeah, so that led to that being the first question.
Get to that in a minute. We'll come back.
Okay.
We'll do quarterbacks, and I'll come back to that because I got a couple different things. His quote when asked who will start at quarterback on Saturday, it was a very direct question. We've not made that final decision. We're very excited about all the guys. As far as the starter, it's two people, and both guys did extremely well. Made really explosive plays Saturday, managed the offense well, and I feel really confident with either one of them. Goes on to be asked a couple questions later what he needs to see from Sanders and Dart to name a starter, which I don't hate the question, although it's nothing you have to see at this point. You have your sample size completely prior to Saturday, but I understand what we're doing. Tried to give something away in any way.
Right.
And he says, I just still like to collect information and still keep practicing and keep pushing forward. Like I said, I still extremely confident in both guys to win games. Both guys have on big stages, which is very unusual to have. That's more like in the NFL to have veterans like that. I would think too many people. I would not think too many people have that. Two guys who have been on the big stage and have performed well, so we're excited. He says these answers about 15 minutes later, something like that. Who I believe to be the starting quarterback on Saturday, Jackson Dart, puts out an initial tweet that he deletes. That one was what?
It was the one where the thought
emoji, the thinking man, the hand on chin thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Did that, deleted that, and then he yawned on another emoji.
That's correct.
Moments later. Again.
Yeah.
Deciphering emojis is not necessarily my strong suit, but those were the two emojis that Jackson Dart.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah.
Could have been coincidence.
It's possible.
He got out of class.
It's quite
tired.
It's quite unlikely.
Stayed up playing PlayStation the night before.
It's conceivable. It's not likely.
No.
I said seemingly in my story.
You did.
Yeah. Left and out.
So why? Why is Lane doing this?
I don't know. We can evaluate reasons possibly. I have a theory. I'm not particularly comfortable with it publicly because it's just going to upset people. So I probably won't go there. Look, we can't in one breath go, Lane Kiffin doesn't coach speak, and then go, well, this is coach speak. So maybe he doesn't know who his quarterback's going to be. Maybe as of this moment, he doesn't know who the starter is. We have intelligence, I guess is the word. We've talked to people who have told us that Kiffin has told Jackson Dart that he is the starter, which is what I believe. Everything from what the amount of access that we had in preseason lends us to believe that Jackson Dart's the starter and that Spencer Sanders is the backup. Is it possible that they're not ready to do that because they don't want to end the competition? Is it possible that they want to gather more information before they play a meaningful game? This is not a meaningful game on Saturday. It counts, obviously, but Ole Miss is not going to lose. There's a 0% chance that Ole Miss loses to Mercer. So it's essentially an exhibition game. So maybe he plans to play both quarterbacks.
Just doesn't he sees it as preseason and goes, whatever.
Well, I mean, it is preseason.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not losing to Mercer. So
he doesn't need style points.
They probably could send Mercer a script of, here are the first 50 plays that we're going to run. Here's exactly how they look. Just FYI. And they'd still win the game easily. So maybe he's just going to get some looks at both of them. Maybe there are things about Dart that still pop up from last year that bothered Lane Kiffin a lot last season. There was a reason. I've said this repeatedly. There's a reason that they signed Spencer Sanders or added Spencer Sanders. I guess they didn't technically sign him. They signed him to an NIL deal.
Sure.
But there's a reason that Spencer Sanders got the NIL package that he got. It's simply illogical that they brought him in, gave him the NIL package that they gave him to be insurance. But maybe that's the case. We're going to find out. The thing I've said repeatedly about this is that unlike a year ago where you could do the competition, and even though we all sort of knew where it was going, once it was declared, you pretty much could predict what was coming with Luke Altmaier. He was going to meet with Lane and say, look, I don't want to waste a year of eligibility
100%.
here. I'll be a good soldier. I'll be a good citizen. I'll do my thing, but I also have my transfer available to me.
Sure.
And I'm going to have interest. Everyone knew that at a minimum, at an absolute minimum, Southern Miss was going to make Luke Altmaier their starting quarterback. And the odds were, and turned out to be true, that there would be Power 5 interest. Mm-hmm. And he's the starting quarterback at Illinois today. Spencer Sanders doesn't have anything left. Jackson Dart could graduate, I believe, and transfer. But whoever's not the starter this year is probably just not going to be a particularly happy camper on the sideline. So maybe he's trying to punt as long as possible the unhappiness. Maybe they're trying to figure out a way to play them both. I just don't know.
The problem we have with this, and we've had it the entire time, and you can agree on this, is we don't know what Spencer Sanders' mindset is. We don't know what exactly he was told in recruiting. We've heard things. Heard a lot of things.
Heard a lot of things.
But at some point over the last few months, the realization had to be that, hey, Dart's not going away. So you've either adjusted to that or you haven't. Now, he had a lot of, he had some issues from a graduation standpoint. It wasn't as seamless as simply staying for the fall semester.
And I don't know whether he completed that coursework.
Sure, right.
I don't know whether he has his degree yet from Oklahoma State.
Right. So we don't know those things. And because of that, you don't know where he's standing on, hey, I'm about to be fined to pissed anywhere on the spectrum when something happens, or if Dart keeps playing, or it's, hey, I'm here and I'm working, and if he messes up or he gets hurt or whatnot, I'm the dude. And again, making good NIL money, and he was my best option. And I don't know. But yeah, just in general, not having, because look, what we have seen, what we've heard, again, we're not in there, but everything that we're aware of, Dart has had the majority of the team. He's kind of been the leader of this team. It is his team.
Yeah.
That was the part that I just found a little interesting, is it seems like everyone is just operating under an assumption, and then Kiffin gave that answer yesterday.
Certainly 4/5, and it might be the entire offensive line, but I can't speak for one person because I've not talked to him about it. But I've heard from or talked to the others. 4/5 of the offensive line are certainly big Jackson Dart people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jaden Williams just talked about it fairly recently.
Yeah, he's tight with Eli Acker. He's tight with those guys.
He runs with those guys.
Yeah.
He and Jaden are tight, hang out in the locker room and talk and stuff. I mean, maybe Sanders does too. I don't know.
Yeah,
These are things that we just don't know.
I think they're both going to play a pretty good bit on Saturday.
I do too. Again, Saturday's a preseason game. It's easy. The question is,
doing that create more headache than it's worth potentially based off how results go and things? Well, does it allow you to get in your head?
Well, sure. That's the part that you wonder when you get.
That's the part when you don't name somebody and suddenly you've had this whole month to figure it out, and you get in there and Dart's fine, but he's 8 of 14, throws a dumb pick at some point, throws a couple touchdowns, and then Sanders goes off for a minute. You go,
right?
Okay, I saw one day.
Well, that's what you wonder is what happens if, let's say, they both. Because the odds are they'll both be superior to whatever Mercer can throw at them.
Sure.
And they both have really good days on Saturday. And it's 45-6 or whatever it is at the end of the third quarter.
Which keeps the ball rolling downhill.
They put Walker Howard in, and he finishes the game. And then they go down to Tulane with this
exact same situation.
We're asking again on Monday, Lane, who's the starting quarterback?
Well, they both played really well.
They both played really well. They both did some explosive
things. We're going to look at it this week.
Just the more information, the better. You don't have to make a decision until you have to make a decision. Which is true. I mean, I literally just got through having that conversation with my son about something completely different. I'm like, why are you trying to decide something today that you don't have to decide, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Lane Kiffin said, I don't have to make this decision.
No,
Nick Saban's not doing this.
He has been very clear that he sees in some ways quarterback the same as every other position on the field. I mean, he didn't come out yesterday and go, hey, John Saunders is starting at safety on Saturday.
Well, I mean, they did not put out a depth chart.
Yeah, that has some other reasons, but we'll get to those in a minute. But, I don't know. Let me think about it. I got a question coming up after the break. First, are you ready to elevate your college football game day experience? Check out Twisted Tea, your go-to game day beverage for college football fans. Twisted Tea is unlike any hard beverage you've had before. It's made with real brewed tea, packs a flavorful punch with 5% alcohol and no carbonation. Delivering the perfect balance of taste and refreshment that goes down smooth for every game day occasion. No need to settle for the usual. Twisted Tea turns up any occasion, especially when you're cheering for your favorite team, whether you're tailgating in the stadium, parking lot, watching them at a bar, or hosting friends at home. Twisted Tea is there to elevate game day experience, perfectly complements your love for college football and your passion for creating unforgettable moments. So let's toast to an unforgettable game day experience. Twisted Tea, the drink that fuels fun and celebrates your love for college football. Keep it twisted.
Do you hate losing games? Do you hate losing players? Do you hate paying for your insurance? If you said yes to those questions, Davey Ferris can help. Davey has partnered with the Grove Collective. We'll be donating 20% of all commissions, 10% of all renewals on both personal and commercial insurance policies. Davey can service customers in all 50 states, and he's dedicated to making sure Ole Miss athletics succeeds in this era of college sports. So contact Davey Ferris at 214-715-7247 or via email at dferris@hillcoinsurance.com. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are some of the questions that can only be answered with the personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Seago with Seago Wealth Management specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. Whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting and see what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. We're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different names, same great products and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer, 662-8011-777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern, 662-429-4429. A-Stock is a Nashville-based online retail company with the mission to provide customers the power to name their price. All items start at just $1. That's right, all items start at $1 no matter what the retail value may be. So shop now at astock.bid. That's ASTOCK.BID. Or download their app. Name your price on thousands of items from big name retailers. They've got multiple locations around Nashville, Memphis, some in Indiana, and more coming soon that offer local pickups, so don't miss out. The College Corner is here in Oxford now. So if you're coming up this weekend, make it a part of your weekend. It's right off Sisk Avenue in the Oxford Commons. More than 4,000 square feet of the best Rebel gear, plenty of parking available. Their staff's going to have you in and out and ready for the Grove in no time. Also 2 locations in the Jackson area, collegecornerstore.com. Game Changer patches are the only 2-patch system available in the market to stop hangovers before they start. The warm-up patch used before or while you drink, the overtime patch used after you've been drinking to recover while you sleep. The all-natural ingredients will keep you in the game, ready for your next play. Go to GameChangerPatch.com, promo code RebelGrove20 at checkout for 20% off your purchase.
Heavenly Sunshine has Christmas on their mind, and they're excited to announce holiday lights by Heavenly Sunshine. Well, they know Christmas lights are beautiful. They can be a lot of work. So let them take care of the hassle and do the work for you with a full-service installation plan. They install, take down, and store the lights. Huge deal there. They use commercial-grade LEDs that are 100% customizable to your home or business. They take care of the lights. Why don't you take care of the gifts? You can book your free estimate by August 31st. 3 more days to get that done. So call today. MPW10 is for 10% off. They've been serving the Mid-South for 4 decades. That includes Oxford. They do everything from residential and commercial property maintenance, power washing, soft wash roof cleaning, window cleaning, and more. So that's heavenlysunshine.com, 662-342-1203. Podcast also brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer MedSync. If your prescription's the same day each month, take care of you. They can also help you transfer your medications. You make one phone call, they take care of the rest. So whether it be Tyson Drugs or G&M, 662-236-2222. So what is the first game that one quarterback plays all meaningful snaps, in your opinion? Alabama?
Maybe.
Because I easily could see this going into Tech next week. I mean, Tulane, and then potentially Georgia Tech.
Sure. That's the question I've got, right? Is that if you do this...
Because what we know today, and again, maybe Lane's tricking us all, and Dart plays 90% of the reps even on Saturday, and we go, okay, sure, whatever. Sounds good.
At that point, you would question, well, what was all the drama about?
Yeah, sure.
But, anyway.
But if you told me that Sanders played at least 20% of the meaningful snaps against Tulane, I would definitely buy that today. I think I would predict that today if you made me predict it. I'd rather not, but
I think I would too. And then if Tulane's what you and I both think they are, and it's a fairly easy win, then you do it again the next week, right? The question you've got is, do you get to a place where you have quarterbacks looking over their shoulder every time you make a bad read? If you make a mistake, throw a pick, does it become that thing? First, he threw a pick in the end zone, if I recall correctly. It's been a minute. He took him out for just a minute and put Plumlee in.
Did the quick little clear your head,
but it was nothing but a, cleanser.
And everyone knew, no. Cool.
It was just a cleanser. And then he came back in and played.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, there was no controversy. So, I mean, there's something different, but I don't know. Maybe it's just theater. Maybe it's just games.
Again, maybe it's just because he doesn't have to. And he's ballparking that it's not hurting anything. It's not affecting anything negatively. So who cares?
Yeah.
Maybe the players all know because I believe the starter knows. So, maybe he goes, if they're fine and they know, why don't I got to tell you?
Crenshaw said they don't know.
Okay. Well, all right. Case closed, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well. Crenshaw said.
He said they have confidence in all of them, even Walker. That's what he said. Are you questioning? Are you questioning the All-American running back?
I fully believe that to be the case.
Okay, good.
I got no issue with that at all. Yeah, I mean, look, Sanders has got a pretty good NIL package. We're aware of that.
Yes.
I would like for things to be more transparent, but that's transparent enough. I got it.
I understand if you don't want to take our word on a lot of things. On this one, you can. You can absolutely take our word for it.
So we discussed the Ole Miss side of it. About 3 hours east, there was a little kerfuffle over no depth chart too. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, not releasing one yesterday. Nick Saban, and this is where I was going a minute ago. He was asked here, his quote, and it's partly crap, but I understand what he means. Quote, "It creates a lot of distractions on our team, creates a lot of guys thinking, well, this guy's won the job, now I'm not going to get to play or whatever, and quite frankly, we don't need that." Called it a distraction again a second later there in Tuscaloosa. What Lane has intimated in the past is it gives him issues with other players and NIL and all sorts of stuff. And
And
it just creates this documented thing where, parents are going, hold on a minute, that's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's been a running joke with us for more than a decade, but at the same time, there's not a lot of thought put into this at all. It's just it's a pseudo requirement, or it has been in the past. So it's kind of going, I got parents riled up over something that just got thrown together. It's not in blood.
You walk into this studio every day and you look at it right over there. Look at the chart that I've worked on.
The big whiteboard in the corner.
It's amazing. It's got all the intricacies on it. Lights, lasers. No, of course not. I mean, we've been telling people this for years, and it's a lot of people get mad about it. The coaches hate these things. They detest them.
Ole Miss is saying they will release one at some point this week.
Yeah.
3 schools in the SEC are saying they are not going to release one prior to game day. Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M.
A lot of
A&M did announce Connor Wigman as a starting quarterback yesterday.
A lot of high-profile players on those teams.
I guess Georgia put one out yesterday.
It's a different generation.
It just is.
It just is. Not a knock.
Hate it, like it, whatever.
Like having that conversation with my son the other day. Different does not mean better or worse. It just means different. Some people will judge it better and some people will judge it worse, but it's just different. When you list a guy third team right now, you are creating the potential of problems. You're creating the possibility that a parent says, you know what, you're not going to play, so get in the portal.
The other side of it is they clearly know where the hell they are in the rotation. You know what I mean?
I would think. But they don't want it public.
In the mock game on Saturday, if you got put on the other side, you went, oh, hell, that wasn't good.
Sure.
Hold on a minute.
But you and I've been to enough practices to know that the only guys that are really on the, quote, scout teams for the most part are walk-ons.
And really young guys.
Or guys that are in the doghouse.
Yeah.
So you're sent up there as a punishment.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't get your together.
Yeah. Here's where you're going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about this for today.
Yeah. Go do a day over there.
Let this be a palate cleanser. See how the other half lives.
Yeah. It's hard to put a bunch of oars. I am waiting on the depth chart that basically lists the entire 85 with oars on it as a counter to this conversation.
But
yes, so Trick, that is correct. Yes.
But I can remember having this conversation with Hugh Freeze at Ole Miss years ago, where he would say, I don't know why you guys come out here and try to figure out a depth chart. I'm like, well, because our subscribers really want one. That's why. He's like, yeah, but that's not the depth chart. Sometimes we're trying different things. And I'm like, look, I get it.
That's not my concern. Okay, go try different things.
You know, to the point I can remember saying to him, if you don't want us out here, just don't let us be out here. It's 100 degrees. I don't want to be here. It's one of the reasons that I think at some point they start eliminating at a lot of schools. The reason they eliminate media is not because they think we're going to diagnose the plays. It's because we're going to put out charts.
Yeah.
They don't. I don't even think it's about giving the secrets away. Because I can remember being on the phone, like at practice, and someone coming over to me, who are you talking to? I'm like, Saban, telling him everything. I wouldn't. And the thing is, most of us, certainly me, you could put me on the phone with the Mercer coach today at practice.
You still have a hard time giving him anything.
And he would say, hey, give me something. I'd be like, I don't know. They're lined up in what's it called, 11 personnel. And he'd be like, well, I figured that, I mean. I couldn't give him. I couldn't give him.
They're going to do this thing where Priestcorn runs down the middle of the field and they're going to throw him the ball. Okay, cool. All right, sweet.
Yeah. So I think he ran like kind of a skinny post. What was the depth on that? I'm not sure. I'd have to see it again. It's too late now. I couldn't help him. But the one thing I think that they don't want media doing is putting out charts. And obviously they don't want putting out injury information, stuff like that. But for the most part, I think they don't want to create internal issues.
I mean, I'm not sure that I saw much at all. I mean, the only even thing that was kind of even sort of state secret is like a wide receiver pass one time, the entire camp. And I made a joke about that because it was kind of like Freeze-like. I was like, oh, that's going to be our Treadwell this year. He's going to chuck it down the field a little bit. But Otherwise, I don't know. I think I've got a coach on my team with the new rules. Neal, I think he's all in with me. We're hating this first down rule. Got Lane all in. I think I can.
Well, I'm shocked that an offensive
coach
who
Lane
likes
does
tempo,
not like losing plays off the. I did like Lane's PR. So in the game Saturday, you lose, according to somebody on the internet, so it must be true. Lost about 1% of time off the game, but lost 8% of the plays. From a small sample size, I get it.
Yeah, really small.
Microscopic.
Stupid small, yes.
Nonetheless, 8% of the plays,
It's
1%
judging the
of
whole
the clock.
baseball season on the first 2 games.
Yes, exactly.
Well, this guy can't hit.
Yes. Royals are winning the pennant.
Yeah.
So, I get it. But Lane went the other way. 1.7 possessions lost. Thought that was pretty good PR right there, because you flipped it into, hey, I only get so many possessions. I lose this many possessions.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because in his world, he's thinking that's 14 points, 10 points.
This is not a good rule for Ferentz at Iowa at all. Should have renegotiated that contract number after the rule change.
Yeah.
This is not good. Because Lane even brought up a different rule change, said that corners don't have to look back for the ball anymore. I mean, he just said they're not helping out the offense. Poor, pitiful offense getting run over with the new rules today.
Yeah.
When the overwhelming majority of rules are for the offense.
Yeah. Lane doesn't get a lot of sympathy on that one. You could almost hear defensive coaches around the country
rolling.
Going, oh, give me a break. Right.
Did you look up to see who was on the committee that made these new rules?
I didn't.
Just a bunch of defensive coordinators.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No clue at all. What'd you take from Zachary Franklin? How long before he's out there? It did not sound imminent to me.
It didn't. I thought I sensed the beginning of just a shred of frustration there. It had some Jalen Robinson vibes to me.
It's a really good comparison. That is a great comparison. I do need a stop the clock shirt, kind of like those hats that were going around last year to said run the damn ball.
Yeah.
Need a stop the clock shirt.
You need that shirt.
Do you think he's frustrated with Zachary Franklin? The situation.
I hate to say that.
Yeah, that's strong. I get it.
I sensed something.
Because it wasn't like, oh, yeah, it sucks. We're just trying to get him back. He's really working hard through it. Blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
Blah, blah.
What's he bring to the offense? I don't know.
Hadn't seen him. I know what he did at UTSA. Cool, sweet. All right.
It just had some Jalen Robinson vibes to it, but I could be completely off.
He loves Pete Golding.
Clearly.
Immerse in just the praise is just.
I compared it in my mind yesterday to, I remember asking him after the Kentucky game about the job that Chris Partridge was doing. And I got a very blah answer.
Even in a situation where they were doing fine.
And where they just won a game because the defense was really good. And the praise for Golding is off the charts. I mean, he's
schematic, the way he's handling the kid, the whole thing. Just
what he can't say is he's totally changed their recruiting. That's what he just doesn't want to say out loud, I guess, but he has. He's given them a different force in recruiting.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
And I think the schematic part, in fairness to Partridge, he told people that they were running that scheme because that's the scheme that Lane wanted. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But obviously Golding comes in. It has a lot more experience, not just at Alabama, but at UTSA. Has done a lot of good things and has coordinated defenses in this league. And so there's some know-how that, that I'm not sure maybe Partridge had. Partridge was learning on the job a little bit. Lane's not. Pete's not.
No. I think there's a freedom to it, too. Is you're not, it's one of the few times, Lane is not having to babysit in any way.
Right.
You know, you're not having to go wonder or do this. Hey, you know, we gave this dude a new job, and we're still, because even if Partridge did pretty well, you're still doing the, hey, it's year 1, year 2, calling plays, cool, seen this. You're dealing with transfers and stuff. I mean, Pete's been around a long time at so many different levels. It's why even he talked about that day that he spoke to the media, is that, you know, from a transfer dealing with people standpoint, his UTSA days were almost more valuable than Alabama because of the way that just the rosters get all shuffled and thrown around and stuff. Is that he's seen a version of this in the past, even though it's, you know, worse players, probably a little less ego in some places, but for the most part, he understood what this potentially could look like.
It's one of the, I've heard people say, you know, and I've said it a couple of times too. I mean, there's no Will Anderson on this defense, and there's not. There's no Dallas Turner on this defense.
No.
I'm not sure there's a Henry To'oTo'o on this defense, although I think Perkins has a chance to be an elite linebacker. I just don't know how long it takes for that to happen. But he's coordinated defenses before that weren't just chock full of NFL talent. That time at UTSA was probably very, very valuable for him.
Yeah, it's more the level of praise. No, because he's not done it in the past, JM. I mean, he could easily go, yeah, Pete's doing a good job and move on. Like, he doesn't have to be to the level that he is currently giving him. It's eye-opening because he's never done it about any coach ever since he has been at Ole Miss in any way. That's why it keeps sticking with me as time is going on. Just from a news standpoint, kind of feels like Chris Graves not playing a ton of snaps on Saturday, just from a not being around very long standpoint.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Stands to reason. I mean, he hasn't been in pads but like a week, right?
Yeah. Because, I mean, he had the acclimation period once you even get eligible.
Yeah. There's a bunch of bodies back there, too. I did think the answer on why they brought him in was kind of interesting. It was kind of, well, we have a need there. It was some depth thing. That wasn't just, hey, let's just go get another player.
Best players available, go grab him.
Yeah, that was.
And a guy who's had a ton of ball skills but hasn't played a lot of corner over the course of his life. I mean, he's a wide receiver. Yeah. He moved late in high school to play corner anyway.
I mean, I wrote this in the content item, but you know, the rumor has always been that Golding walked in and said that the defensive backs room had to be completely renovated, that it was a disaster. He didn't like it. Sort of bears itself out a little bit here.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
It's one of the things that I'm interested in is, you know, just so many new faces on defense, a new scheme, a new coordinator, some new assistants. I mean, how long does it take in a game for that to kind of come together? We'll see. We're going to find out quickly.
We have no answer to that.
No, but I mean, the good news, again, we're going to find out quickly. Play Alabama and LSU in the first month.
Couple just quick number change things for any fans who had not seen this. Jam Griffin switched from 6 to 8 because he and Jamari Walton will probably be on special teams together, so they can't both be out there at the same time. And then I think it happened early last week, but I forgot to post it. Some Neal may have, but Michael Trigg now 81 because he and Josh Harris could also be on the field at the same time.
I did not know that.
Yeah, both those number changes because of special teams availabilities for those two guys. So
it's a big change from 0 to 81.
0 to 81 and 6 to 8 are the two changes there. Jam Griffin now number 8. I guess he and Monty Montgomery will not be on the field at the same time. So
I wonder if Trigg was like, why doesn't Harris change jerseys?
I said that when we were just in the room when it got brought up. I was like, hold on a minute. Like,
was 81?
I've been around longer. I mean,
was 81 not available for a defensive lineman?
Yeah, he's like, last time I checked, Pegues is wearing an 80-something over there. I mean, like, hold on.
I'm just saying.
Might be a sign, too. New guy who's been here like 3 months gets the preferential number.
It's probably something.
Hey, Michael, you'll wear what we tell you to wear.
Yeah. You want to wear 0? You better have a good year.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Show me something.
Yeah.
So, all right. Podcast brought to you by Prime Shrimp. PrimeShrimp.com. 7 different flavors available for you. Everything from the New Orleans style barbecue, the signature, 2 of my favorites that go with a lot of different things. Let it be lunch, throw them on a salad, a great snack, high in protein, or a full meal at night. Fewer than 10 minutes freezer to plate, and they mail them directly to your door. You can get a discount right now. Buy 5 pouches or more. Use code RG, 25% off with Prime Shrimp. They're also available in any Rouse's Markets if you have one of those close by. But no matter where you are, they'll ship them to you. It's great restaurant quality shrimp from the New Orleans-based company. So, again, that's code RG with PrimeShrimp.com.
Welcome back for another edition of Dead Soxy's incredible fall score sale. Dead Soxy is excited to announce a slight twist in the 2023 version of the score sale. At the conclusion of Saturday's game between Ole Miss and Mercer, the margin of victory by the Rebels over the Bears will trigger a percentage discount. If the Rebels thump the Bears 45-10, the promo code will activate for 35% off. 50-10, no problem, 40% off. The promo will cap at 40%. The score sale will run from the conclusion of Saturday's game until kickoff of next weekend's game in New Orleans versus Tulane. So load up on your favorite Sox and score this incredible offer. Visit deadsoxy.com. Use the promo code RebelGrove at checkout and receive the score sale percentage off all orders. We're brought to you by Pinnacle. Pinnacle, home to the Pinnacle 401k advisory services team. They'll conduct a complimentary, no-obligation benchmarking and analysis of your current 401k plan. It's mypinwealth.com, MYPINN wealth.com. We're brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. John's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows him to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits simply not available to other travelers. Get in touch with him, give him some parameters, give him a budget. He'll give you options that you won't find on your own. It's 901-494-3387 or send him an email, j.edwards@regencytravel.net. Oxford's newest Greek restaurant on the square is the perfect place to plan your company dinner, your festive party event. Maybe if you're already thinking ahead, your Christmas party. Fabulous food, great craft libations. OPA can accommodate up to 200 guests. For catering or booking information, contact Jeannie, 601-421-7147. Neal's Picks debut on Thursday. They're brought to you by Service Specialist Staffing and Recruiting Agency. If your company is looking to hire quality, hard-to-find talent, Service Specialists can help. Keep in mind that payment of service is solely contingent on if you decide to hire a candidate that they send. You have nothing to lose, so give Will, Sydney, or Kelsey a call at 662-832-5138 or check out their new and improved website, servicespecialistltd.com.
Men's basketball renewal deadline is August 31st, 3 days away from that. You can renew or purchase now to be in the priority seat selection process. Women's basketball tickets are on sale for just $50 per season ticket, and men's and women's basketball season tickets may be purchased at OleMissTix.com. Also, the Ole Miss Athletics Foundation is starting their Pledge Per Win and Pledge Per Touchdown campaign for football. Go to Give to Athletics, that's T-O, GiveToAthletics.com to sign up today. And then the football single game tickets are on sale. They've been on sale since August 15th. So, again, don't miss out on 2023 football season. Let's see. Where was I going with this a second ago? I did see where Bruce Feldman today called Phil Longo the number 3 assistant coach in the country to watch moving forward on his list.
To watch for what?
Oh, I mean,
just
head jobs, like
really
best assistants in the country. I mean, huge list. Phil Longo, number 3.
Certainly been in a lot of places.
It's true. Gained a lot of experience.
Yeah. Worked for different types of people.
Worked with a lot of good quarterbacks.
Yeah. Worked for Hugh
College
Freeze,
football assistant
Matt
coaches to watch. Garrett Riley leads Bruce Feldman's top 30.
Yeah. I buy that one.
No issue. Clemson OC.
Yeah. Who's number 2?
Matt House, LSU defensive coordinator.
I buy that.
And then Phil Longo, Wisconsin OC. The air raid has come to Madison. The 55-year-old Jersey guy helped develop Sam Howell and Drake May in Chapel Hill. I think they were probably pretty good before he got there. And had some prolific offenses there, just about everywhere he's coached. The Badgers were number 76 in scoring and number 63 in yards per play last year after ranking 81 in yards per play in 21. They need a spark and a shakeup, but don't think just because Longo comes from the air raid tree, the Badgers won't still have a potent run game. In 21, Longo's offense was second in the ACC in yards per carry and led the conference in 2020. Also ranked in the top 10 nationally in each of those years while finishing in the top 2 in the ACC in rushing yards per game. With SMU transfer Tanner Mordecai, he still is around. Stepping in and running back Braylon Allen in the best shape of his life, Wisconsin will be a handful in the Big Ten.
Best shape of his life. Ever? Never been in better shape.
No.
Never.
No. You all in on Fickle now? All in? Wisconsin going to run through this bitch?
I mean, best shape of his life.
Tanner Mordecai is still playing college football.
Oh.
They got recruited by, Arkansas, Chad Morris for some shit when he was at SMU. I feel like that guy's been around forever.
Been a long time.
I did not know he was the starting quarterback at Wisconsin.
It's been 86 years.
Just crazy. Just looked at the list and went, wow, Phil Longo. It's a picture of him wearing his Wisconsin football hoodie.
Oh, wearing a hoodie.
It
might be a little cooler up there.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's in the 70s sometimes.
No Ole Miss coaches on the list at the top 30.
Feldman hates Ole Miss.
He does, yes. He only spent a year here. Liam Cohen, Kentucky OC, on the list at number 11.
Oh, that's interesting.
Is it?
A little bit, because
Kentucky Rams.
He went to the NFL, and they were like, you need to get out of here.
You don't choose to leave the NFL and come back, do you?
It was kind of encouraged.
Yeah, it feels like that was a requirement in some way. Big year for a guy, because they were actually really good last year defensively. Aaron Henry, the Illinois defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Big year for him to show it again and kind of. I think he's in line for one of those jobs if he does that again. The Tulane OC, number 17 on the list, Slade Nagel. Let's see.
I wonder if he's related to. I think that's Browning Nagel's son.
Is it?
I think so.
LSU's quarterback coach Joe Sloan is 22 on the list.
Yeah, I've heard people say a lot of things about him.
Arkansas DC Travis Williams on the list, number 25. Ohio State has like 4 coaches on the list. Colin Klein at Kansas State, though.
Travis played at Auburn, right? Travis Williams.
That sounded right as I was yes, former Auburn linebacker.
Okay.
Just saw it right there.
Yeah.
He was at USC before returning to the SEC.
I think I covered him.
He's 40 years old. So 18 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
So he was on the 03 team?
That sounds right, but no, it's been a minute.
Okay. I do think that's right, though. Well, Longo, he's evolved a little, and he runs up a ton of total yards. It's just when it matters. Like it.
Yeah.
I mean, his total yardage is never a problem.
Like, I love the Wisconsin minus 20-something against Buffalo this weekend. Like, I think they'll run up tons of points. Remember, he used to, when he played nobodies at Ole Miss, I mean, they'd score 70. It's just when they got into the red zone against the good teams.
It bogged down a little bit.
Got a little more complicated.
It's like was it maybe in his first year at North Carolina, they had Clemson on the ropes and they like got down toward the end zone. I was like, I'm all in now. We're in the red zone to get a chance to beat the Tigers right here. Yeah. Like, let's turn the TV. Let's get the popcorn going. See what we got. All in. See if I'm gonna get a DM later about this.
I hate that you're off his list now. It's a shame.
I'm off his list.
That's a shame.
I mean, I might get back on it. I could tell him good luck for Saturday, and maybe
you should try that.
Maybe I could pull him back in.
That'd be awesome. Get on the list.
Hey, Phil, I've got a Wisconsin hoodie. I could put the hoodie on.
Oh.
Take a photo.
You could.
Hey, Phil, go get Buffalo on Saturday. Yeah. Got a black hoodie with the Badger on the front.
That's a quick U client.
Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ole Miss's open date. We've been invited to go up there
to Wisconsin.
Yeah,
you gonna do it?
Maybe. I'd like to see.
They don't play Iowa.
They play Iowa that day.
Oh, they do
in Camp Randall.
Oh,
I'm gonna check a lot of boxes.
You can go jump around.
I know. It'd be cool.
It's actually a really neat place.
Yeah,
but that would be a fun.
It looks like it'd be a fun place to go.
Dan Wetzel with a decent column today talking about how boosters basically ruined SMU football 40 years ago are now trying to pay for the entire thing to bring them back. It's worth the read. It's just simply a college football history standpoint and whatnot. Because like I said, if you haven't read it and you're just sort of interested in reading it would be fascinating with today's lens of understanding NIL and whatnot, because that's all SMU was doing in the 80s. The book that is best on it is Payroll to Meet is the name of it. And it is phenomenal. It's really, really, really good of analyzing. So if you need a book to get you ready for college-based football season, SMU's payroll system in the 80s would be a good one to do. But yeah, good column from him today talking about a proposal was initially supposed to be done yesterday to last night, but it got postponed after the fatal shooting at North Carolina's campus last night. Professor was killed on campus, I think in the science building, but nonetheless on campus at North Carolina last night. So clearly, and as they should, they have postponed those meetings until a later date. I have not seen an update to when that will happen. This is the ACC schools. convening to discuss the three schools, SMU, Cal, and Stanford. And it appears that it's just a matter of yes or no, that they already know the financial structures that will be in place. It will be Cal and Stanford taking a much reduced cut, as low as 30%, and then SMU getting $0 for, I think, 7 seasons is the number on that. So you're talking about one heck of a bill that boosters in Highland Park would need to fund to keep them at number in the ACC. It's about a $250 million gamble to be in the ACC.
Yeah.
It's your only choice,
of course,
though,
of
if
course
you're SMU.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
Yeah, if you're SMU, it's your one.
Do you want to play big football or don't you?
It's your one opportunity, your one entree to the big stage. You have to take it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Kind of wonder where Gerald Turner's sticking on this. He's still their chancellor, or did he leave?
I don't know. I think he's still there.
Is Gerald still there? I haven't talked to Gerald in several years.
I haven't talked to him in ever.
20-something years, have you? Did you talk to him when he was?
I don't remember. Maybe.
I've been president of SMU since 95.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Right after he left Oxford.
Well, that's pretty rare for a guy to be president for almost 30 years.
Robert Gerald Turner, the president of Southern Methodist University in Texas, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, assumed office June 5th, 1995.
Wow.
Started out as a professor at Pepperdine. Served as the chancellor of the University of Mississippi from 84 to 95. Yeah, he was bemoaned. When I talked to him, I was doing that oral history on Swayze Field. So I guess that was 2019 because it was the 30th anniversary of Swayze. And I called him up and he talked, I don't know, half an hour. He was bemoaning and upset by the fact that he couldn't get SMU to pay for a baseball team, to start a baseball team. He was going, he spent several minutes on the fact that he would like for the Mustangs to play baseball, thought that obviously being in Dallas and whatnot, and even with some private school situation there, but that there was no real push for that to be the case. Yeah, the ACC's 14 current members are expected to receive about $36 million in media rights money. So you're talking about 36 times 7, a number for SMU over the course of that.
With more than $220 million, yeah.
That would also free up $24 million to split amongst themselves for the other ACC schools to add to that because of the whole prorated thing. And again, they're expected to bring Cal and Stanford in at a cut rate. They're guessing about 30%. So, does it get approved? What's your guess? Yes or no?
I will say yes.
I think I'm with yes too. Right?
It sounds like yes. Someone had done the math on the. In case you wonder what I'm looking for, someone had done the math on this Jaguar thing with Kane Womack from the 30-yard line, and they did the math for me, and I can't find it now.
So who was going to win?
The Jaguar.
He would still catch him?
Yes.
Without even it wouldn't even be close?
Yeah, I mean, like I told Tyler, I'm like,
how far do you have to put him back to be even?
You'd have to give, in this case, Kane another 10 yards. He'd have to start at the 20.
20?
It's a Jaguar. They run 50 miles an hour. I mean, Tyler's trying to get a friend killed. I'm just trying to protect the guy.
So the Jaguar's at the other goal line.
The Jaguar's at the other goal line. And in this case,
he has to make up 70 yards in 30 yards.
Yes. He runs 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, but what's his get off speed? Does it take him a minute to get there?
I'm gonna guess that he's not like sluggish.
I mean, is this like a cheetah that like full speed immediately, or is this like Bowser in Mario Kart where it takes a second to kind of get going?
Let me Google it, damn it.
I mean, a semi truck you can get up pretty good, but I mean, it takes him a minute to get off the starting line.
Does it take for a Jaguar
to get to full speed?
To reach full speed.
And why a Jaguar? Why not
because
a cheetah or a lion?
South Alabama is the Jaguars.
Sorry. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
It goes from 0. Oh wait, that's a car.
The Jaguar. 3.8 seconds. Wow. Okay. What we got?
I'm looking.
It doesn't really say.
I'm trying to get there.
Okay.
All right. For a cheetah to get to full speed, it takes 3 to 4 seconds. Its tail is what keeps it balanced. I'm going to assume that a jaguar is similar, but I don't know that. I'm searching.
Okay. By the way, they have more money for their best players, but SMU's current NIL situation gives every player at least $36,000 in base deals as their current setup.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you are a scholarship player at SMU, you're guaranteed at least $36,000.
The word jaguar means he who kills with one leap.
Really?
Yes.
That's a great name.
I mean, have you seen the fangs on these deals? I mean, are you?
Well, we're not wondering if he can get him once he gets to him. It's can he get to him is the question. I know he's going to slice him in half if he gets to him.
Yeah. What? Tyler's like, well, you could win the national championship. I'm like, or live. That's insane. Just the whole thing. The answer is no. You'd lose.
Yeah, a cheetah goes up to 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Jaguar's 50.
Cheetah's like a blur, man. Can you imagine something running 70 miles an hour? Think about that.
Once you're in the sights, it's just over.
I mean, go get on the treadmill and set that bitch at 20. Okay?
Would it even go to 20?
Some of them will go
Will
to
they
20.
really?
Yeah. All right, we'll set it at 12.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean,
and sprint, and then go, okay, it's 5 times faster than this.
Plus a little.
Plus something.
Well, it's like because the marathon pace thing, most people can't even get the treadmill going and stay on it for a second at the speed that the world record marathon was run at.
Yeah.
For 26 miles.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good video to watch on YouTube. People just falling and can't.
Yeah, of course, it's insanity.
Can't stay on it. Okay. All good. Take your word for it. It's fine.
If God gave you the ability to run 70 miles per hour, how often would you use it?
I mean, again, how long can I do it?
I'm going to guess.
I mean, 70 miles to get toward the end of the street, okay, but
I'm going to guess that you can't do it very long.
Well, of course not.
I mean, it'd be like just max sprinting. How far can you max sprint? Whatever your max is.
Not far at all.
100 yards?
I don't know. Sure. I mean, all the little heart rate stuff says if you're really max sprinting, it's only 20 seconds.
Okay.
25 seconds,
Yeah.
something like that. If you're really just
So
all out,
200 yards maybe.
Yeah. Something like that. I don't know how we got there, but either way.
I'm not sure. It's my fault.
What's going on in Arizona, the Cardinals? What are they doing?
I don't know. Did I miss something?
Well, Kyler Murray's still physically able to perform. He's going to miss at least the first 4 games of the season.
Yeah.
Colt McCoy has been in line to start. So then Arizona traded for Josh Dobbs and jettisoned McCoy, saying that, frankly, they just might not even compete. They're talking about that they're already deciding they're tanking for Caleb Williams.
I mean,
do you do that at this point?
If you can't win, you're better off just being embarrassingly bad. Get the pick. Don't they have 2 picks this time too?
I don't know. Do they? They owe Murray at least $35 million.
Yeah, he's not. He's not winning a Super Bowl.
Well, no, he's in that purgatory.
Yeah.
He's in the big purgatory group.
I'd get him healthy and then trade him. If anybody would take him. I'd rather have Caleb Williams. I mean, some people say Drake May is walks in a better quarterback. I'm interested to see that game Saturday.
You're really fascinated by that one. It's the top of your list.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
It's number 2 behind LSU and Florida State.
Yeah, and on Saturday, I think it's number 1 in front
The whole day?
in front of South Alabama Tulane. No, I'm really curious to see
No, I
South
know.
Alabama Tulane
I know.
because there's a lot of this Tulane hype, and I'm just not sure I buy it. So I want to see it because we're going to talk about them all next week. It's the game
No, it's the game to turn on and
Yeah.
And it's on TV, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It's been you.
my plan is to get home and write so that I can turn those on.
Because it's 1 o'clock. No, you're fine.
Yeah.
That's not even
I can talk to you while I'm driving
Yeah, I mean,
and then get the shows.
say the post-game show's over before that.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have a column written or whatever, but I can write whatever. I'll get up here and turn the couple of games on.
Yeah. All right. Podcast brought to you by Johnsonville Creamery, johnsonvillecreamery.com. Still time for the tailgate packages. Again, in the Grove this weekend. Let them help you. You know, by now you pick it up on Friday and Saturday. They are at Chicory Market. You can order on the website. You can also give them a call to do that. It's 662-419-9201. Everything from feeding 10, 20, or even 40. They got great dips, pepper jellies. They have large specialty trays. The artisanal cheeses they make in-house every day. The grazing, the charcuterie trays, my favorite. The sandwich trays, fruit trays. They got the cheesecake dip. It's a huge favorite. As well as the crudité, brownies, cookies, lots of desserts for kids as well. So to feed 10, 20, or 40, let Johnsonville Creamery take care of you. Again, pick up on Friday or Saturday this week. That's johnsonvillecreamery.com, 662-419-9201.
Get the beautiful and healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. So schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com. Are you a displaced corporate executive wanting to put your career in your own hands? Are you an experienced entrepreneur looking to diversify? Either way, Andy Ludicky can help. He owns multiple franchises and businesses and uses his expertise to help others find their American dream through a very thorough and free consultation process. So call Andy, put your life and your career in your own hands. It's 100% free. You've got nothing to lose. Find your perfect franchise at myperfectfranchise.net or contact Andy at andy@myperfectfranchise.net or call 404-973-9901. And we're brought to you by Southern Traditions Farm. It's a 68-acre, 32-stall upscale equestrian training and boarding facility in Canton, Mississippi. 2 sand rings, a grass ring, miles of wooded trails. There's a lot offered at Southern Traditions. Horseback riding offerings from beginner lessons with trainer Susan Walt to buying your first horse, competing at nationally recognized competitions, and much more. So get in touch with them on Facebook or Instagram at Southern Traditions Farm.
Podcast is brought to you by Northeast Spark, NESPARC. Service people across rural communities. 2 packages, the Ignite, the 100 Mbps, or the Blaze, the 1 gig that powers the Clark Ford studio. Your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. That's nespark.com, 662-238-3159. Phone service available, parental controls, network security, a wireless mesh extender for those who need the extra help, and more. So again, you get the best internet in Lafayette County as well as parts of Union and Pontotoc counties. That's 662-238-3159. Let's see. We got Thursday, Florida and Utah. Cam Rising last night saying that he feels better or really good. I'm looking for the exact quote, but they still have not announced a starting quarterback. So we're still kind of stuck in limbo. I was putting some picks in Neal's picks this morning, and I don't know what to do because we don't have a decision there in that game.
Yeah, and that will impact.
It's completely dictating.
If Rising plays, I think I'm picking Utah. If Rising doesn't play, I think I'm picking Florida.
We may not know. So what are you going to do if you don't know?
I don't know. Probably just pick Florida.
SEC speed and whatnot.
All that stuff. They won last year.
Well, they had a first round pick quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. And he played like one.
He was great. We all thought he might win the Heisman after the first game. I mean, he was fantastic. Cam Rising said he feels, quote, pretty damn good right now.
Oh, pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good.
That's a game changer.
He refused to get into whether he's been cleared to play.
Well, it's because they told him not to.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Unlike Lane, Utah plays Florida, so why are we?
Yeah.
I'm under no obligation.
When
I think the Bears were sitting down at noon going, who's the quarterback?
No. When Whittingham says, we have our hands full, he's right. They probably do. They're not playing Mercer.
You're really talking bad about Mercer more than you do most FCS teams.
Come on. We're not doing this drama stuff. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath. Third quarter, it's going to be empty. Everybody's going back in the Grove, heading to the square.
It's going
to be hot. Another reason I'll just go ahead and leave after the game and come home and write because there won't be any traffic.
See where Harbaugh yesterday said that the NCAA just got to get out of the way and you got to get revenue sharing in place for the players.
I saw that. I get it. I just don't know how you. I don't know.
And they pointed this out in one of the stories I've read. I've read a couple. It might have been Adam Rittenberg for ESPN that said this. Is obviously coaches are in weird spots with this because clearly they understand it's their sport. I mean, they're very much a person of knowledge in this situation at the highest order. They also recruit players. So anything you say that it's pro player helps you in all those different ways, your own team, hey, I'm fighting for you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get whatever.
Yep.
It creates a weird thing because they can sit here with knowledge and respect and be seen as absolutely a point of true reference on the topic, while also absolutely doing it for certain motivations and with having no responsibility on what it actually looks like or how to do it. They have to put nothing. They never go, well, okay, John, how would you like to do that, bud, Jim?
Right. No,
so it makes it a little like, okay, how would you like to do that? Would you like to lose $6 million of your salary to pay for it? What are you going to do, Jim? Like,
that's why I get a little frustrated with the coaches, lots of them, when they say, this system's broken or whatever. Okay, well, how would you fix it? Well, that's above my pay grade. All right, well, I'm curious. If your defensive coordinator walks into the room and says, we can't figure this out. Do you go, oh, okay, well, it's okay. No, you say you better figure it out. How's that work? So when you say, okay, well, I think we ought to do revenue sharing, and someone says, well, exactly how would that work? Well, I don't really know how it would work.
Yeah.
So you're just placating now.
You're just
talking.
Calls the status quo unacceptable, but in a different way, going, no, you got to give the players more. Got to protect the players.
And that's fine. But then how does that work?
And there has to be a give and take. Then, okay, they got to sign binding contracts.
Right.
Y'all good with that? No? Well, then, again, at some point, they can't just get everything.
And then if you do the binding contract and then a kid busts, how do you get rid of the kid?
Well, that's your problem. That is, in the player's defense, that is your problem.
Sure, agreed. Like a baseball team signs a player to a 3-year contract, and then they cut him in year 1. They have to pay him for the next 2 years. You can cut him. If he's not good enough to play, he's not good enough to play, but you still have to pay the contract out.
He said he's heard people comment that the 3-game suspension is a slap on the wrist. It's more like, quote, a baseball bat to the kneecaps, Harbaugh said.
Oh, stop. Stop.
It's Eastern Michigan, UNLV, and Bowling Green.
Well, and you literally, I'm sure it hurts not to be able to go coach.
But you're not playing Ohio State in week 2.
And you get to practice with your team all week.
Yeah,
you get
3-0.
You get to go to the meeting, everything. The only thing you can't do is go
Frankly,
to the
you get to go to your son's game. In a way, you're getting a benefit on Saturday.
Right.
Because they're like, hey, what are you going to do? And he's like, I don't know. I might go to my son's football game. Well, yeah, go to your son's football game. What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to be 3-0 when you get the reins back. Again, that weren't even really taken away from you.
Some of your coaches get some enhancement. They get to experience being a head coach on game day.
Frankly, you can turn it into a positive. Sorry, East Carolina. Not East Michigan. East Carolina.
Same difference.
The Pirates, not the Eagles.
Yeah.
Wherever the Eagle stuff is around us.
Just the hard hat.
Where's the other stuff?
That's their piece of turf.
Is it from the stadium?
I kind of doubt it.
From the gift shop?
That's more likely.
The bookstore? Whatever you want to call it. Is that where it's from?
Yeah.
But yeah, Harbaugh delivered a lengthy opening statement as soon as he walked in, like off a piece of paper yesterday, about the NCAA stuff. Said it was just on his mind.
Well, good for him. Whatever.
He's hard to like.
He's really hard to like.
Because he's just so goofy and weird. And
I catch myself cheering against them quite frequently with no reason to cheer for or against Michigan.
of any sort of high-profile team, he might be the coach that's the hardest to like.
Yeah.
Just because it's all this indignant, like, stuff on top of being goofy and weird. And
yeah, because I kind of catch myself liking Lincoln Riley for the most part. I like Ryan Day.
Yeah, I find myself finding humor in Riley for whatever reason.
Yeah, he makes me
when
laugh.
he can't cook the brisket and stuff, I kind of laugh, and it's all the whatever.
Whatever.
And,
yeah.
I mean, it's Harbaugh and Jimbo, and I know you know him, so it's different.
Yeah.
But from the whatever, it's like it just.
Well, like Jimbo did the music thing, and people are like, he doesn't really like George Strait. I'm like, no, he probably does.
I think that's probably real.
He's just a West Virginia country boy.
Yeah, I think that's real. I'll buy that.
You know, I mean, he's stubborn. Most head coaches are.
And most coaches who've been doing it this long have to find that change. They got to alter a little bit. They got to figure it out.
The interesting one, Larry Joe points it out, is Dabo Swinney. And on TV and stuff, I don't like him. And then I talk to people who know him, and they all, to a man, rave about him. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'm just misjudging the guy based off his TV persona.
Dabo.
Yes. I mean, I know of a specific situation where he cut his vacation short to come back and help interview someone for a job, and spent the day with him and took him around. And that guy ended up not taking the job because of retirement and stuff. But he
does
raved.
seem to be a legitimately good dude.
He raved about him. And he was like, this guy was this way with me, and there was no camera anywhere near.
Yeah.
All day long.
I think I buy that Dabo is pretty legitimate. I think I do.
A lot of people that I trust say that he's.
I don't necessarily pull for Clemson, but yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah. No, I end up cheering against Clemson more often than not.
I kind of do.
And
too.
then
I wonder in some ways if it's just I kind of want them to lose because it's more interesting.
Maybe so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, if Wake knocks off Clemson, that's more fun. Sure. Go Deeks, like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want Kane to win on Saturday for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
He's got a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm biased. I'm cheering for him.
Mm-hmm. It's a huge game for him.
It's a big opportunity.
Just huge.
This is a big season for him.
What are the preseason Sunbelt rankings? Like, where is everyone? Where's Summerall? Where's Kane?
I think Kane's picked second and Troy's picked third.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Preseason poll, July 24th. Looking quickly. East Division, James Madison won. Okay, they're neither in that. Troy picked to win the West. South Alabama picked to finish second in the West.
Okay.
Troy got 10 first-place votes. South Alabama got 4 first-place votes. 92 points overall to 85 points overall. Louisiana Lafayette, third in the division at 64 points. So, two-man race there.
Yeah.
Will picked to finish fourth in the West at 62 points. It's a pretty even league, one side to the other, because the West is Troy, South Al. I would never have been able to tell you this. Troy, South Al, Louisiana Lafayette, Southern Miss, Texas State, Arkansas State, ULM, last in the West.
Yeah.
In the East, James Madison, Appalachian State, Coastal Carolina, Marshall, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Old Dominion.
It's a really good league.
Not bad.
No, it's a good league.
That's pretty good.
Again, it's my Louisiana Tech take. That's where they belong. They would have thrived in that league.
Such a mistake.
So stupid. So stupid.
I mean, it's not SEC pullout level, but it's
just
the next step.
Stupid.
Yeah.
So many of those games, the people there would be
rivalries. You care.
Would be excited about that. They'd be excited about the Louisiana Lafayette game.
Yeah. That is true. Clemson does not get injuries from running down that hill. Nobody falls ever.
I know. And it looks like it's a steep hill.
Yeah, they're kind of like stumbling down, but they're okay. So.
If somebody ever fell, it'd be like a...
Chip Kelly, Larry Joe goes, I also don't like Chip Kelly. He's one of the guys that I give some credit for reinventing a little bit. Because, for years I kind of went, hey, that's the guy that shows he just can't quite get there. He can't, that offense doesn't work anymore. And he's evolved a little bit. I mean, they're not amazing, but...
No, he's
done a good job.
He's a good coach.
He's done some things like, Rich Rod was unable to do.
Yeah.
Find that next that next thing.
Yeah.
So.
No, he's very adaptive.
Mm-hmm. He is.
Yes.
Yeah, he's done a good job. So, all right, back tomorrow here with you again. A couple days away from some SEC games. Again, Missouri and Florida playing on Thursday night at rebelgrove.com in the meantime. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow.